Welcome to our Social Studies March department meeting. I'm going to attempt to flip our meeting so that we can have 3 guest speakers today. You should see in front of you on the screen a copy of our department agenda. Under item number 1, just a reminder that on Friday, our student of the month for March is due. That trait is risk taker. If you're getting ahead, the student of the month for April is knowledgeable. The trait is knowledgeable. So I want to spend quite a bit of time talking about Living History Day that's coming up after spring break on Thursday, April 20th. This will be a similar format to last year. We'll do classes coming down to the Information Center, periods 1 through 4, and then the veterans will take a break, periods 5 and 6 for lunch, and then we'll have sessions again, periods 7 through 10. These sessions will take on a 20-minute segment type of format where students will get to visit 2 different veterans. I think as a group we decided when we talked last year that this took on a better format for the veterans who often would like to tell their story. From a longer format, they were really struggling when we would try to get 3 in. So even though the students would probably rather hear 3 presentations, we're going to stick with the 2 20-minute segments. I would like you to use some form of a questionnaire just to keep our students focused. Here's an example that Bob Mobley provided for us last year that I'm sure he'd be happy to use or give to you again. I've updated it to reflect only 2 interviews. The old form had 3, and then the students are given a chance to do some reflection at the end. So again, if you want to see Bob Mobley about this, I'm sure he'd be happy to share this form with you. I would also like to really push that we have some time to have our students fill out a living history program half sheet, which would allow them to recommend one of their family members that's been in the military. Attached to the bulletin today, you will have access to one of these sheets you can print off, and you can ask your students if they have any family members they would like to participate. I think we gained about 3 or 4 sets of family members last year doing this. So if we could gain a few each year, certainly our numbers would continue to grow. On that note, I am working with the Daughters of the American Revolution to try to identify some more veterans and perhaps some more wives that would like to tell their story as well about what life was like here while husbands were away. So again, that's our Living History Day on 4/20. I will also give you a copy of the agenda so that you can look at that ahead of time. A lot of Living History Day attachments to just take a look at what that will look like. You can see that they're again about 20-minute segments, and we give the students a little bit of time to transition in and out so they can get set down and get focused and get seated. As part of that, you'll also receive a copy of the letter we send out in case you want to forward a letter by email to any of your friends or family that want to participate that just talks about how to RSVP. So you'll see 4 attachments today for Living History. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. Again, some of you have asked about bringing your world history classes down. Unfortunately, we're going to have to focus just on U.S. history classes. And this is done for a couple of reasons. Number 1, if we take our world history classes down this year, then some of our students won't react very well when they see a similar program again next year. Number 2, we just are at capacity for most of these periods. And some periods we have as many as 5 or 6 of you coming down, and we just don't have the space or the rooms. So again, that's Living History Day. Please make sure it's on your calendar, Thursday, April 20th. All U.S. history classes, PSYOP, CP, AP, everyone's participating. I'm not sure if we're going to have a 5-6 speaker like we did in years past. I'll have to get with the PLCs and just see if there's interest in that. But for now, periods 1 through 4 and 7 through 10 will all have access to hearing a veteran. We're going to move on to our informal evaluations portion of our agenda. These have already started to take place, and I will continue to work on these through spring break and probably through the end of April. I appreciate the number of invitations I've gotten for really cool activities, but for equity, I do want to let you know I am going to continue to come in for at random on these second evaluations. I hope that you understand that I'm just trying to create fairness across the board for each of our staff members. Number 4, we have our interdepartmental meeting coming up in April with English. I apologize that the February meeting had to be canceled. But hopefully we can still spend some time with our counterparts and perhaps plan, if not an interdisciplinary unit for next year, maybe an interdisciplinary lesson that we can start small and work together on that. Regarding evaluations, it is about that time of year where we start thinking about summative conferences. Those will take place the first 2 weeks of May 1st through May 12th. As that gets closer in April, I'll send you a schedule out for when your summative conference will be. You might also put on your calendar so that I can get all your summative evaluations finished. I need all of your data by Friday, April 21st. This would be anything that you want to upload on Standards for Success for me to review. This would be 3.2 and 3.4 for PD and parent and student contact. Anything that you want me to see, put it on your calendar. Friday, April 21st is the deadline so that I can get your summative conferences ready to go by May 1st through May 12th. And then finally, as we are all looking forward to spring break, just have a great and relaxing spring break. I know that we're always looking as a school for class covers on that Friday, 3/24, and that Monday, I believe that's the 3rd, as teachers extend their breaks. So if you would like to be on a class cover list, if you're trying to earn those, just shoot me an email and let me know, hey, if you need someone, if we're short on subs, I'd be happy to help out. I know that many of you are willing to help out in a pinch. This is more about, hey, I really would like to earn additional class covers. I've already got a few. Let me know and I'll pass your name on to Pam Grody. This means that you're not only willing to help out in our department, but also in other departments if they need you. So that's the difference between those two. Now, on to why we're doing a flipped meeting in the first place. You're currently watching the announcements that I would normally give you in class, and I wanted to model for you that if you have a day where you need to teach 10 or 15 minutes of content, but you really have an activity you'd like to get finished, I want to encourage you that Canvas is a great tool where you can just record yourself using any number of programs and then just upload that to Canvas and have your students watch a lecture you would normally do in class. We have 3 presenters that are coming up on Monday, and I knew there wouldn't be time for me to go over things with you in depth, but I knew if you looked at this agenda, there's some really important things on here with Living History Day, your evaluations, interdepartmental meetings with English getting ready to come up. And so I decided to come out of my comfort zone and reach out to one of our cool tool topics, which is screencasting. And I got with Mr. Hodson, and you're going to see Mr. Cooper and Mr. Hodson presenting 2 different versions of this. But I said, how hard is this to record myself and the documents? And he said, I can teach you in 5 minutes. And that's literally what it took. It took 5 minutes to do what you're seeing right now. And so I really can't stress enough that I think, these cool tools are a great way for each of us to grow professionally. Something I didn't know how to do 15 minutes ago, I'm now modeling for you, and I hope you'll consider using for your students. And so flipping the department meeting was something that didn't take me long to do, something you can also gain back. Say you want to teach the French Revolution, but you really would like to do a cool simulation on the French Revolution. Why not put that video up a day or 2 ahead of time, have the students watch it on Canvas, and then do your cool activity in class? It's a way we can steal some time away from the classroom. Finally, I want to talk about a guest presenter, Professor Edward Curtis from IUPUI. I'm really excited about this. I've been working with Professor Curtis to try to see if we could get some teachers interested in a 3-week seminar this summer. And unfortunately, I don't think it worked out for any of our schedules. For those of you doing Panther Quest, it overlapped Panther Quest, or I would be doing it this summer. But I invited Professor Curtis to just come in and give us a 30-minute version of what that seminar would have looked like. And so I'm really excited to have him in to speak with you. If you don't know Professor Curtis, he's a Greenbrier parent that has written a number of articles in favor of public education, and I'm really just impressed with him. And he sent me a preview that you'll have on the attachment today of a lesson plan he's going to go over, integrating Islam and Muslims into the U.S. History Survey. Mr. Curtis has published over 10 books or articles or edited them about using Islam in the classroom or teaching about African studies in the classroom. And so just really excited to have him in, to have him speak with you along the way. And so you're going to see a lot of attachments today. And for that reason, if you could take a look at what he sent ahead of time. And then the department meeting on Monday, again, will look like probably between 10 and 15 minutes of cool tools from First McKinney on TED Ed videos, then Mr. Cooper and Mr. Hodson on screencasting, and then the rest of the time will be spent with Professor Curtis talking about how we can teach more about Islam and Muslim Americans in our courses. So once again, just want to thank Mr. Hodson for helping me with learning how to screencast. I hope that each of you will take a look at it. It really is as simple as downloading the program onto your your desktop, and then pushing play and letting the webcast do the rest. So again, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please email me. Otherwise, I'll see you in Mr. Hodson's room on Monday for our 3 presenters. See you there.